At HEB, we're inspired by Mexico. The colors, the flavors, and aromas. And we want to share them with you. So we created the HEB Mi Tienda family of products with authentic Mexican flavors. From
your Toros would like to thank all of you for joining us for tonight's game. Tonight's match features the opponents to Mexico Grande and your RGBFC. Welcome to HEB Park home to your RGBFC Toros for your own protection, the safety of fellow fans and the players in the spirit of good sportsmanship. League United Soccer League, RGBFC Toros, and HEB Park request that you refrain from yelling harmful slurs and throwing any objects onto the pitch. Such behavior may cause serious injury, and violators may be subject to ejection from the premises, fine, and arrest. We also remind you that any spectator going onto the pitch, unaccompanied by a staff member or interrupting play in any manner, may be subject to ejection from the premises, fine, and arrest. Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that the use of video cameras is prohibited inside of HEB Park. Please notice the exit sign. In case of an emergency, exit through the nearest marked emergency exit. When using the stairs, use handrails. And if you notice something suspicious or out of place, please notify a member of our staff. Remember, if you see something, say something. We thank you for your cooperation and hope that you enjoy tonight's match. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet tonight's lineup. Our starting 11 for the opponents, New Mexico United. They're led by captain, midfielder, number 4, Sam Hamilton. In goal, number 1, Alex Tambaki. On defense, number 16, Will Seymour. Number 22, Caleb Bryden. Number 3, Austin Yearwood. Number 5, Josh Suggs. Midfielder, number 43, Justin Portillo. Midfielder, number 7, Sergio Rivas. Midfielder, number 17, Greg Hurst. Forward, number 11, Santi Ward. And forward, number 9, Josh Cullen. Head coach of New Mexico United is Zach Prince. The officials for tonight's match are referee Greg Dupka, assistant referee number 1, Art Arustamian, assistant referee number 2, Tiffany Turpin, fourth official, Edgar Garcia.
And good evening and welcome to Edinburgh. We're at the southern tip of Texas to bring you exciting USL Championship soccer. Tonight, the Rio Grande Valley Toros lock horns with New Mexico United. Glad to have you with us and happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm Mark May with Brian Smith coming to you from beautiful HEB Park on ESPN Plus. And Brian, what's in store for us tonight?
We've got a couple of phenomenal players to watch as we look at a matchup in the West of two teams that are on the verge of making the playoffs. They're early in the season now, but these are two teams kind of looking in on the outside right now, but a win can go a long way for both. Let's take a look at those players to watch, beginning with the visiting New Mexico United. Look no further than their forward, Greg Hurst. He has been a scoring tyrant, 2 goals in the early going, but he's done that on just 4 shots. That is efficiency in the attack, and it's exactly what they'll need against a strong defensive line in the Rio Grande Valley Toros. On the other side for the Toros of the Rio Grande Valley, it is that man on the back line, Jonathan Ricketts, the Swiss Army knife of the USL. He can do a little bit of everything, and he has been a defensive presence, specifically in getting into those passing lanes and preventing the attacks to develop here against Rio Grande Valley. He'll give you the same energy in minute 95 that he gave you in minute number 1. The heart and soul of that defense for Rio Grande Valley.
And we've got starters coming up along with the keys to tonight's match just a moment away from kickoff. Right now, let's take a break. You're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
At HEB, we're inspired by Mexico. The colors, the flavors, and aromas. And we want to share them with you. So we created the HEB Mi Tienda family of products with authentic Mexican flavors. From savory marinated meats, frijoles and queso, to tamales, soft drinks, and more. HEB Mi Tienda brings you the traditional flavors you love. One more reason here, everything's better.
When it comes to our familia, we all have our own flavor and expression. At Tequila de Corralejo, we believe sharing our individuality is what makes gathering together so fun. Here's to those who stand tall and share their passion.
Espinos Tires on Far 83 has been serving the valley for over 30 years. We offer a wide assortment of tires, wheels, and auto parts. Let us build your dream vehicle with only $49 down. No credit required.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow,
creating more jobs
and more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank. Did you know when you bank with Lone Star National Bank, you're investing in your community? By creating jobs that stimulate our local economy, creating success that we share with our community. In fact, Lone Star National Bank donates more money and more volunteers to more causes than all other area banks combined. We do what the little banks can't, and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
And welcome back here in Edinburgh at HEB Park. Mark May with Brian Smith, a moment away from New Mexico United, taking on the RGV Toros. And Brian, who's in our starting lineup here tonight?
As we look at a rock-solid defense going against a runaway train offensively, New Mexico United. Look at this lineup for United. They're going to go with the 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, 2 forwards, a standard 4-4-2. It allows you to really be flexible and take advantage on the attack, which is exactly what New Mexico United needs to do, is attack, attack, attack against this defense for Rio Grande Valley. On the other side, for host Rio Grande Valley, their lineup will look a little like this. A little more defensively focused are the Toros in this one. 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, 2 forwards. The same 4-4-2, but look what's happening on that back line. Cabezas, lots of experience. Akwe, been on the team of the week a couple times this year. Wickens, who was player to watch in this one, and as we'll talk about at halftime, made player of the or team of the week last week. to be a big performance out here. Take a look at your keys in this one, in what New Mexico and Rio Grande Valley need to do to be successful for the Toros. It's about being able to press high with that defense, not giving up easy goals. You're applying pressure at the point of attack immediately as New Mexico comes back the other direction. Don't allow that attack to develop quickly. On the other side, for New Mexico United, they have got to play the passing lanes, use those attacks to directly come at the net. That's where the Toros have shown themselves to be the weakest defensively, despite being one of the best defensive teams in the USL, is when they allow that attack to develop head on to the net, putting Tyler Derrick in a precarious situation of trying to cover as much net as possible. Bring it right at the Toros, and as we saw over the last couple of matches, you can find some goals.
And there we see a look at Cristiano Francois out of Haiti. Now, Francois, he kind of typifies what's been happening to the Toros in terms of their offensive, not being able to generate much offense. Francois has 10 shots, which ties for the team lead, and yet he doesn't have any goals. And goals have been hard to come by this whole team, haven't they?
Yeah, it just seems like they can't catch the break they need. Remember, this was a Toros team that across the season has had no shortage of scoring opportunities, no shortage of good looks. They've just not been able to put it in. A big part of that may be how physical their opponents have been with them. The Toros have not had opportunities where they're just standing wide open in front of the net. They've been marked. They've got a lot of guys keeping very close eyes on them in the box. But you get the feeling that the way these Toros are continuing to shoot so well, they're going to get a breakthrough, and they'll get a breakthrough in a big way.
Saw a long pass there. Looked promising. It was intended for Joshua Suggs, but the defender, Wahab Akwe, able to head that one back toward the Toros, and now it's deep in the New Mexico United end. New Mexico United in the black and gold, Toros in the blue, white, and orange out there here at HEB Park. Opening minute of play between these two teams. Both come in at 7 points on the season, but New Mexico United has one game in hand against the Toros. First meeting this season. They'll meet later on this year at Isotopes Park in Albuquerque. These teams no strangers to each other. They have met several times before. This will be the 10th meeting. Toros lead the all-time series 3-2 with 4 draws between them. Interestingly enough, the Toros have never lost to New Mexico United in this park. So we see Tyler Derrick there in goal. The Toros, 3 wins, no losses, and a draw here at HEB Park in Edinburgh.
As you point, Mark, the home team seems to have the advantage in this matchup on top of being undefeated here at home. They've yet to pick up a win at Isotopes Park, so it seems whoever is the home team has the upper foot in these matchups.
Yeah, I was just noticing that. Yeah, Toros have never won in Albuquerque, so it's been a home team dominated series so far. Now, last time the Toros were at home, though, they suffered just their second loss, but their worst loss of the season, 3-0 drubbing by Memphis 901, who was at the time in last place in the Eastern Conference. I know that didn't sit well with Coach Wilmer Cabrera and the rest of the Toros team. And then last week, they were on the road in California against Monterey Bay. Ended up in a 0-0 draw against a competitive Monterey Bay team. But Toros still have to be a little disappointed as they had 10 shots in that game, only one of which was on target. So not much offense last week, or much offense the last 3 games, really, as they come in with a scoreless streak of 337 minutes starting off here tonight.
And that draw at Monterey Bay is especially troublesome if you're looking at the attack for Rio Grande Valley. Remember, they had Monterey Bay in the opener and went to a 1-1 draw here at HEB Park, and that was a game that Rio Grande Valley really dominated offensively, just could not get a breakthrough. So you had the feeling the Toros went into that road matchup thinking, this is a team we can have some real success against. We've just got to build our attack to our strengths, and then you come up empty.
So the Toros definitely in need of goals. Only 4 goals scored this season through 7 games. There we see Ricky Ruiz upended, but play continues. Mexico United with possession now. You know, and both of these teams come in with 7 points, Brian, but we were talking about the Toros a moment ago, but New Mexico United seems to be playing a lot better as of late, don't they?
Yeah, trending in a different direction. You go back to their U.S. Cup victory over...
Oh, there's a chance there as Davila centers the ball. Francois trying to gain control and get turned. Not able to do so, and now the ball goes out, and New Mexico United will concede a corner. What were you saying?
So as we were mentioning, if you look back their last two matchups, a victory over Phoenix Rising in the USL Cup, and then their victory in their last matchup coming into this one, they've got 2 consecutive wins and 2 pretty impressive offensive outputs. 3 goals and then 2 goals in the USL Championship. So that's 5 goals across their last 2 matches. This is the New Mexico United team that has really turned the corner offensively. And when you're firing the way they're firing right now, they can be a very difficult team to match up with.
Toros with the corner kick. Nice touch there by Davila to bring it down. Chips into the box, but it's headed out by New Mexico United. Good defending by United after an initial great touch by Davila. Yeah, New Mexico United, they have scored. They were shut out in their opener, but they have scored every game since, including 2 U.S. Open Cup matches. But they're a team not hurting for offensive production right now, whereas the Toros have not scored in their last 3 matches. You can see the Toros applying early pressure here, wanting to end that drought as quickly as they can. Toros will send it forward for Ritondale, too far ahead for him to catch up to, and United will get the ball.
You think about their last victory, 3-1 over Orange County on Saturday. And that's a matchup that actually favored New Mexico State pretty strongly. Orange County is a team that has a pretty good offense, but their defense is just a little bit suspect. So a nice opportunity to come out and get some goals. They got those goals, got the victory, and now the Toros have to find themselves focused on setting a strong defensive performance, because this Mexico United team has shown the ability to put up goals in bunches if you don't keep in front of them.
Yeah, Hurst had 2 goals and Rivas with 1 goal last week in that 3-1 win. Saw a close-up of Austin Yearwood a moment ago, the defender for United, throwing the ball in. Here's the ball played back to Akwe, the center back spot for the Toros. Akwe out of Ghana. And we've got our first whistle of the game. This will be a free kick here for the Toros.
A little bit too aggressive coming up behind Jose Torres, and will end up drawing the foul and giving a restart here to the Toros. And I think what you're seeing here from Rio Grande Valley is actually pretty smart. Play a little bit of keep away for a moment. Allow yourself to get into an attacking position, because it has been all New Mexico over the last couple of minutes.
Francois able to get turned, sends the ball forward. Cabezas a shot and a goal! The scoreless streak is over just like that. And the Toros on top early on, 1-0.
Sometimes it's about how the ball bounces, and what a bounce they got there. Little give and go. Francois to Cabezas, back to Francois, and he caught that in stride. He was able just to slip that right past Tebakis. That was a spectacular showing for the Toros, and the type of finish they have struggled to find all season. Look at that strike.
Now this is great give and go here. Cabezas, the team captain, entering the ball there for Francois. And we were just talking about Francois, how he was generating shots, but had been unable to find the back of the net until just a moment ago on his 11th shot of the season.
And that was a fantastic assist and pass from Cabezas, because by taking that extra step before he passes, he forces Kalen Ryden to come over and challenge him in case he's building the attack. And that opened up just enough space for Francois to tuck that in.
Yeah, you've got to commit to Cabezas in that situation, because otherwise he takes the shot from up close. Kind of a no-win situation there for United. They find themselves down 1-0. Goal comes in the 7th minute, so the scoreless streak ends at about 343 minutes. Ends early on, just like the Toros, I'm sure, wanted. There we see Ruiz coming back to help out on defense, able to get the turnover. Tondole sends it across into the New Mexico side.
And this puts the Toros in a position they really haven't been able to favor over the last several matches. They're playing from out in front. They found themselves for so much of this season kind of playing from behind and trying to allow their defense to lead to a good attack on offense. This time, the offense takes the lead, and now the defense can breathe a little sigh of relief.
Oh, nice pass there to Suggs. Suggs is going to send it inside, and a shot gets by Derek, and it's kicked off the line. Still not out of danger. New Mexico United able to regain possession here. Looks like the ball was saved from going in by Gabriel Benitez after it got past Derek. That was a great long pass initially to Suggs, who immediately centered the ball. Quick shot there by New Mexico United that very nearly tied it up.
He said the key was going to be getting into those passing lanes and getting physical.
Oh, there we see Derek kind of came out, couldn't quite get the touch he wanted, and a New Mexico player is down. That's Hurst. Play continues meanwhile. Hurst is still shaken up as Francois is dispossessed at his end, and there's going to be a booking here. This will be a free kick in a dangerous position for the Toros. Mexico United doesn't like that. I'm sure they think Hurst was fouled at the other end. They end up committing a crucial foul here at this end. Who picked it up.
See, Ryden once again having to be physical here, playing against Francois. Before that happens, there's a lot of contact there. And then as Ryden just tries to cut the angle off and force Francois back in, their feet get tangled. He'll draw the foul. That's kind of a worst case scenario if you're New Mexico United. You had Hurst take a pretty heavy hit on this end. He's slow to get back up. The Toros are racing back the other way. And in your attempt to just get out in front of them and prevent Francois from having a point-blank look, you're going to end up giving them a pretty good opportunity here for a touch.
Biden looks like his first yellow of the year. Saw a shot of Zach Prince, the second-year coach of United, arguing with the fourth official. Questioning. This looks like it'll be Jose Toros take the kick. This is from about 25 yards out. Goalkeeper Cambacas a little bit off his line, favoring his left side a little bit. What it selects to do. Great opportunity here for the Toros, who are already on top 1-0 early on here at HEB Park. Well, now there's a yellow card being issued on the sideline. That's to, looks like Coach Zach Prince. Picks up a yellow card. That's the reason for the play. There's a referee had to run all the way over to the touchline to issue that yellow. Here's the kick by Toros, popped up in the air by New Mexico United's defense. It'll go out for a corner kick.
This is the point where United just has to really kind of settle down right here. You had a real emotional exchange there. You felt like you didn't get the call you deserved. Toros takes a pretty good hack at that before it's headed up and out. So now Rio Grande Valley's got a corner coming their way. You cannot allow emotions to take over in this situation. Cooler heads have to prevail. You have to get back into that defensive mindset that's made you so successful over your prior 2 matches.
Second quarter of the match for the Toros. Toros taking this one again. One kicked up in the air by United defender. Toros regain possession here and might be able to get something going. Here's Ruiz. He has 2 goals in all competitions. Here's a shot from distance and an easy save there by the goalkeeper, Bacchus.
Ruiz just trying to make something of a little bit of chaos in the box. Bodies flying around. He tried to chip that over the top, hoping to get that past Bacchus before he can get an eye on it with all those bodies moving. But Bacchus, who is one of the best keepers in the USL, does a nice job of reading that one out of the air.
Yeah, leads the team with 14 saves, has 1 clean sheet. 3 years old, out of Greece. Good size, too, at 6'3", 189 pounds. Here's New Mexico United on the attack. That's Suggs. Suggs dispossessed there by Ruiz. Great move by Ruiz, and he's streaking down the right wing, looking for help on the inside. Tried to get it to Davila, was off target there, but there is a foul called. This will be another free kick here for the Toros.
And Joshua Suggs just trying to be physical with Ricky Ruiz, ends up taking him to the turf. You'll see it right here. He's got his hand on him and then just kind of pulls him down. I think Ruiz sold that a little bit as well. Now a pretty good look at a restart here for the Toros.
And Ruiz is probably the best player on the team in terms of being able to pick up fouls, isn't he?
A big part of that is he's not afraid to be physical despite not being one of the bigger guys out there on the pitch. So when you see him flying around, you tend to look at the bigger player and go, well, they must have done something. And Ruiz sells it extremely well. But on top of that, he's so great at getting over the ball and then taking up space and forcing you to play through him. And in doing so, he'll draw a lot of fouls.
Yeah, he has that low center of gravity, only 5'7", 150 pounds. And Toros, the wily veteran, 35 years old, out of Longview, Texas, former U.S. international player. Going to take the free kick once again. Sending this one into the far side of the box, popped up in the air, and the keeper comes out to grab that one. Tambakis came out and got that one after it went off the head of one of his teammates. New Mexico United out of danger for the moment. 1-0 our score, behind a goal by Cristiano Francois, his first goal of the season. Assist by Cabezas. I believe that's Cabezas' first assist this year. Here's Suggs sending it inside. You can see some pressure here being applied by the Toros. And kicked away there from Portillo. That was number 16, Coronado. But New Mexico United able to regain possession now in the right wing. Ball popped away from Rivas. And he is dispossessed by Ritondale. Ritondale, only 20 years old, out of Argentina. And he picks up the free kick. Already 4 fouls been called on New Mexico United, none so far on Rio Grande Valley. The Toros elect to kick this back to their keeper, Tyler Derrick, 34 years old, out of Houston. Has started every game this season. Hamilton trying to gain control there, and he's fouled. This will be the first free kick of the match for United. United only in their 5th year of existence. They started in 2019. Toros came around in 2016. Oh, this is intercepted by Davila here, and a chance now for the Toros. Davila's going to play it back to Cabezas, and Cabezas will send it to the right wing where they've got some space to work with. Ricketts electing to send it back. Toro's going to maintain possession here. Toros, through most of their games this season, have generally controlled possession. Here's Toros on the left side. He's got Francois near him. Now Francois has it at his foot. He'll find Davila. Davila has 2 goals this year, and he's going to send it just over the bar. Looked like he had a good look there.
Yeah, it looked like the New Mexico United defense had kind of shifted a little bit to his right. It left a left-handed window for him there. He takes that left foot and puts a pretty good drive on it. But it was just a little bit high. But nice look for Davila. When that defense over-pursues one direction, it can give you a pretty nice look at the net.
Yeah, and Davila and Ruiz lead the Toros with 2 goals each this season. So Ruiz's, one of his 2 goals came in a U.S. Open Cup loss. Toros going out in the 2nd round of U.S. Open Cup this year. New Mexico United has won 2 games in U.S. Open Cup. So they're still alive in the tournament. Portillo sends it inside. And now here another long pass. This one intended for Dalling. A little too far for him. But New Mexico United likes that. That's the 3rd time we've seen them try it. Sending those deep balls to the left wing.
The prior 2 times were pretty successful. It appears the Toros are going to go ahead and give them that deep wing. They would rather keep bodies back in toward the center of the box. So United will take advantage of it. If you're going to give us space in your defensive third, we'll take it and see if we can build something. One of those times they had a really nice look on net before it fell apart.
We're back to live action. 18th minute here at HEB Park. Goal in the 7th minute by Cristiano Francois. The difference right now. And New Mexico United passing this one to their back line, stretching the field out to maintain possession here as we see Rivas sending it back. There's a center back. That's Kalen Ryden out of Norman, Oklahoma. Trying to find space on the right side. It goes at the feet of Sam Hamilton from Denver, Colorado. Also, I believe he played at the University of Denver. And as we said, United coming in on a 2-game win streak, counting one of their Open Cup wins. And it was against a USL Championship side, against Phoenix Rising. They won that one and then beat Orange County 3-1 this past week. That was intended for Darling, just a little too far for him. And tough season so far for Orange County as they parted ways with their head coach right after that game. The team has only won once so far. Toros back on the move now. Davila out of Sherman Oaks, California, just 22 years old, sends it to the left. Now it's at the foot of Francois. He'll start the attack. He starts to motor forward. Francois tripped up there, but play continues. Davila here. And now Ruiz. Ruiz out of Elsinore, California. Played in League One 2 years ago. This is his second year with the Toros. We see Ricketts there trying to send it through. Toros playing kind of a ping pong soccer right now. Sending it inside, and then it's kicked free there by William Seymour. Seymour out of Colorado Springs, 31 years old. We see Yearwood, or it might have been Yearwood who got that kick. Yearwood is 28 out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Looks like we had another yellow issued against Mexico United. I think this one goes against Sam Hamilton.
It does indeed. Team captain picks up his second yellow of the season.
Didn't quite see what led to that yellow. It may have been use of his hands because that ball took a really interesting kind of deflection as it was kicked forward. So Hamilton may have reached a hand out and deflected that. Either way, he draws their third yellow of this match.
Yeah, and they're not a team that picks up a lot of bookings. I mean, their team leader only has 2 yellows all year. They have 1 red card across the whole season.
By way of comparison, the Toros have been heavily penalized this year. Plenty of yellows issued to them, and in fact, there's 2 red cards issued against the Toros on the year. Both of those going to Eric Pimentel, the defender, who incidentally did not get the start today.
And there's sent ahead. Here's Francois again, and the ball kicked away from him just before he could launch it. And good move there by Seymour, coming back on defense after the initial feed from Ruiz to Francois.
And that's a spectacular play defensively for Seymour because you've got to be physical, you've got to take that ball away, but you cannot foul. And look at what a great job he does of slipping in right here, taking the ball out before making contact with Francois. A half step later, and he's likely drawing a foul on Francois, perhaps as a penalty kick, but that was defended beautifully.
Yeah, Seymour out of 31 years old, out of Colorado Springs. Veteran player on the back line there for New Mexico United. Here's Toros to take the corner kick. Third one already for the Toros. Goes right to the foot of Davila. Trying to create space for himself. He's going to pop it to the right side and couldn't quite get it far enough. I think he was trying to get it to Toros. It was instead intercepted by Portillo. And now I think they're going to award a free kick here to United. Cabezas not happy about that.
And Cabezas thinks that he slid in well. We'll get another look at the angle here. He's got a pretty good argument. He had 2 boots on that ball before Portillo comes down and actually makes contact with him. Cabezas was on that ball. The replay, I think, favors Cabezas in that situation. That was a spectacular sliding tackle.
There's Davila centering it to Francois again. Couldn't quite get the connection, and it trickles to the keeper, Tambakis. But Francois, the one-man wrecking crew here early on through the first 22 minutes.
That's the 3rd time the Toros have found Francois in a pretty good position to attack. The first time he put it in the net, these last 2 times it took spectacular jobs defensively by New Mexico United to break that up. The Toros are looking for Francois, and they're finding it.
You know, you were talking about fouls a moment ago. The Toros had a season-high 18 last week against Monterey Bay. So we see Coronado here winning the ball on the left wing. He finds Francois once again. Francois working his magic, has 2 defenders in front of him. They'll send it back, and they'll try to reset the offense. Ritondole there, the Argentine, gives it to Toros. Toros, the Texan, will send it to the back line. Toros will try to reverse the attack here. Halfway through the first half, 1-0 Toros in front. There's Ricketts trying to get by Rivas. I think Rivas got a little too aggressive there, and this is going to be a free kick here for Rio Grande Valley.
Rivas became an extra jersey for Jonathan Ricketts. There's not an inch of space between those two men as Rivas was just riding him up the line. Easy foul call to make here for the official.
Yeah, if this was a NASCAR race, they would have been trading paint, wouldn't they? Ball goes out. Here's a throw in now for Rio Grande Valley. Toros have not won at HEB Park this season. Their lone win coming at Detroit against Detroit City, a 1-0 win on April 1st, just over a month ago. This is a team hungry to get all 3 points here tonight. Here's Darling was able to get the ball on an intercept and feed his teammate Rivas, but it's kicked away from him. An opportunity that was brewing there for United. The Toros hustle back on defense. Now goes to Akwe. Over to the right side to Ricketts. Ricketts sends it to his former Chattanooga Red Wolves teammate, Ruiz. Both were playing for that League One side 2 years ago. Both came to the Toros last year. Toros another opportunity here. It's too far ahead for Coronado. It's taken down by Yearwood, who sends it back to his keeper. Ryden, 32 years old. I mentioned he was from Oklahoma. On the left side, Portillo trying to get it to the wing, but the Toros pop it up in the air. And now we're going to have a free kick awarded to New Mexico United. Looks like that was on Darling. Darling, who's from England, 6'2", 185, and 25 years old. I'm sure he's kind of excited because tomorrow, I believe, is the coronation for King Charles III over in London, England.
And Darling has pretty to be excited about just with the way his season has gone. He's got a team high 5 chances created on the year. And although he's been quiet in this one, as you saw, if you get the ball to his feet in transition, he is perhaps one of the best distributors you are going to see in the USL. He very nearly created a scoring opportunity for his team off of that takeaway.
Here you see the foul committed by the Toros. It's like Ritondale knocking over Greg Hurst of New Mexico United. Akwe bringing it up, finds Ricketts. And now to Ruiz, dueling there on the sideline against Suggs. Kind of a blind pass into the middle, intercepted by United here. Black and gold on the move here in the 27th minute. And now you see that sliding tackle attempt by Suggs is going to get him whistled down, and we've got a Toros player shaken up. Looks like Ruiz once more.
And Ruiz went to ground quite quickly, trying to get the sliding tackle here. That ball was just gingerly laid out, and you see Suggs comes in, toes out just a little bit. He's trying to get a toe on the ball as well. That contact comes right into the shin of Ricky Ruiz. If you've ever taken a shot to that shin on a sliding tackle, it does not tickle. Ruiz needs a second just to compose himself before he's back into the action.
Saw a quick shot of Coach Zach Prince on the sideline talking in a more friendly manner with the fourth official. Got booked earlier in the half, second-year head coach of New Mexico United. Ball played to Francois, Cabezas to Davila, and now it's at the foot of Ruiz. And Ruiz put it into the box, gently there for Francois if he can get turned. Now here's a shot that was Ricketts, and it goes off of Portillo, and it'll be another corner.
Said Jonathan Ricketts is a Swiss Army knife, a defender, perhaps one of the best defenders you're going to see. What does he do? This attack is developing. Ricketts finds himself in the middle of the attack, and he's ready to fire. Nice job of sliding over there by Portillo to send that one out. Otherwise, Ricketts was point blank.
Yeah, he was aiming for that far post. That would have been a very tough save for Tambakis. Here's corner kick number 4 now for the Toros. Gorda sends this one in, curling toward the net. Headed up and maybe out there by United. And they're going to say no, the keeper was able to keep that in. Mind you, it's the ball that needs to be completely out. Doesn't matter where the player is standing. They can have a foot out of bounds and that's still okay. It's where the ball is. Suggs will pop this one into the offensive end. Darling, a heavy first touch there. Otherwise, he might have been able to do something with that. Akwe gets it to Ricketts, who looks like, or I thought was fouled, but I guess it went out, and they're going to say it's a New Mexico throw-in. Ricketts went down in a heap, but play continued. Ball goes back to the Toros here. Their center back, Gabriel Benitez, who's, thanks to Benitez, the score is still 1-0. Might be 1-1 here, but as Benitez had cleared a shot by New Mexico United off the line earlier this half. See the captain, Sam Hamilton out of Denver, wearing the captain's armband tonight for United. Yeah, neither of these teams in the playoff pictures we began tonight. Both teams tied for 10th place. Only the top 8 will make it into the playoffs. Of course, that's a long way away. It's in October. Still, you want to keep yourself alive whenever you have a chance to. And Francois finds some open space, going to send it to Ruiz. Ruiz just sitting there parked alone on the right side, trying to bring it in, is kicked away from him. We'll have a throw in here for the Toros in the attacking third.
To your point, Mark, both these two teams looking in on the playoff standings right now, but 3 points can go a long way in this early season to bump it up. In fact, in the case of both of these teams, 3 points, depending on what else happens across the evening in the USL, could take them to as high as 7th.
Yeah, it's a logjam there in the Western Conference standings. And I was mistaken, by the way. It was actually a New Mexico United throw-in. You saw the Toros arguing the call there for a moment. 31st minute now, or 2/3 of the way through the first half. Toros in front. Kind of a rare lead for them, especially as of late. They had their offensive prowess really down in the last 3 games as they were shut out in all 3. 2 losses and a draw. Meanwhile, the United, as we mentioned, came in on a 2-game win streak. 5 goals in the last 2 games, so we know they can put it in the back of the net. Tambakis, the Grecian keeper, goes deep all the way back to Derek and the Toros in. Derek getting his second clean sheet of the season just last week against Monterey Bay. Also had one against Detroit City. In fact, he's the all-time leader for the Toros in both saves and clean sheets. So he's been a mainstay for the Toros and an effective one. United now on the attack. You can see the Toros putting a lot of numbers on the ball. So you talked about that, Brian, is that high press trying to generate turnovers. And that makes them susceptible to these long passes like we see here. That's the trade-off. You see Darling getting control, looking for help, and this will be a United throw-in.
Well, it shows the confidence that Coach Wilmer Cabrera has in his 3 backside defenders. The ability to push guys forward and say, those 3 guys in the back, they can take whatever you send their way. I don't need to keep midfielders back to help protect. I've got trust in those 3. Let everyone else go to work.
Also shows confidence in your keepers. Hurst turns and fires. Goes over the bar. See Derek not happy with the defending in that last sequence. Just the 5th shot of the season we've seen from Hurst in the first of this game. See Rivas set him up there. Yeah, and Hurst may have had a little more time to do something better with that.
Yeah, it looked like he had time to maybe settle that a little bit better and line it up. And Tyler Derrick, as your keeper, is kind of your field general. He's got the best look at what's happening defensively. It appeared he saw something there that he would like for his teammates to adjust very quickly on, because he was almost standing point blank with Hurst.
And there we see a sliding tackle there by Seymour as Francois was closing in. Dangerous opportunity there for the Toros. And Toros chases this one back. I'll send it back to Derek. They're trying to strategically place it between 4 New Mexico players. Got it to Cabezas, who was able to turn, get it upfield. And the Toros trying to get an attack brewing here in the last third of the first half. Good crowd on hand here tonight at HEB Park. Nice weather as well. We had some gray clouds threatening a little bit at the kickoff, but they've since dissipated a bit. Ruiz sends it back to Davila. And now Torres. They'll stretch it all the way up horizontally as far as they can. They've got players on each touchline. That was Ritondale there a moment ago. Coronado dispossessed. Black and gold back on the attack here. Trying to get the ball forward to Darling. And Darling trying to slip it to Hurst. Seen that combination many times. Darling leads the team with 3 assists. Hurst with 2 goals. But the Toro was able to break that one up. That time it was Akwe coming back. And now we've got a foul called against the Toros. This time it's Hamilton who picks it up. And the guilty party may have been Francois.
I believe it was. You see a nice job right here by Hamilton of staying over the ball, and then as Coronado slides in, just that little bit of a push he gives that sends Hamilton to the turf, and it's right in front of the official. Easy call to make.
Yeah, actually Coronado there, as you saw. Guilty of the foul. He's from La Habra, California, 26-year-old defender. So he's playing up more this evening. Playing more of a midfield spot. Ball goes into the middle to Ryden, sends it back to his keeper. And Bacchus kicks it clear. And this ends up at the feet of Darling, and an opportunity here for New Mexico United. 2 players collide. That's Hurst and Akwe. And I think they're going to award a free kick here to New Mexico United. Akwe, we see right there, 6 foot, 172 pound from Ghana. 26 years old, played with the Toros last year. You're going to see it right here.
2 bodies converge on a loose ball. Akwe perhaps just a little bit too aggressive there when the contact comes.
Played back to Cabezas, had 2 markers closing in. So got it back to Derek, and Derek will kick it into safety. This out of play. It'll be a throw in here for the home team. Coach Wilmer Cabrera, in his 4th year, hands the ball over to Ricketts. But I'm sure very pleased with Ricketts' play as of late. As we mentioned, he made the Team of the Week for the USL Championship. Also had a couple of New Mexico United players on there. We'll see that at halftime. There's a free kick now for Rio Grande Valley. Had 8 fouls called on United, 5 on the Toros, with 3 yellow cards on New Mexico United here in this first half. Toros actually had 3 bookings last week against Monterey Bay. That was their season high. Been playing pretty clean here tonight. Header there by Ruiz. It goes to Davila in the area, tries to center it. Chance for Coronado, but kicked away from him. He also had Francois in there. Francois went by him to the foot of Coronado, but before he could get something going, it was kicked away by the defender.
Looks like William Seymour of New Mexico United is still down. He got the worst of the contact there in the box.
See an interception there by Derek. And I believe play continuing. Now the official stops it. See Seymour back at the other end. And Seymour in obvious pain. There's that replay again.
Oh, he catches a knee right there to the ribs from Francois. As Francois comes in, Seymour is kind of stretched out as wide as he can get. Francois, as he tumbles, puts a knee right into those ribs.
And there we see Coach Cabrera former Colombian national team player back in his days. In his 4th year as head coach of the Toros, has taken them to the playoffs the previous 3, which was 2016, and then the last 2 seasons, 2021 and 2022.
Looks like they're also looking at that right knee of Seymour.
Yeah, maybe he twisted that or something as he was falling down. There see Coach Prince, 35 years old, head coach of Mexico United.
Let's get another angle at that situation. Oh yeah, right there. Oh, Francois steps on it, so he gets a knee to the ribs. He gets his knee stepped on, all right there in the box. That is tough. And you hate that for Mexico United as well, because Seymour had been a very dynamic defender. 2 spectacular sliding tackles to break up attacks from Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, we've seen some excellent defending there by New Mexico United. Score could be 3 or 4 up right now, if not for the hustle of the back line. See players drinking some water. It is quite humid out there because of the storm clouds in the area, and we are close to the ocean. Seymour, you can see, came off the pitch. He'll be allowed back on in a moment. Now he's coming back on. So New Mexico United back up to full strength here with about 5 minutes and change to play here in half number 1. Toros with a goal from Francois. That's the difference right now.
I'll say that was last touched by Rio Grande Valley, so throw-in will go to Mexico United instead.
Chip it forward, trying to get it to Dolly, who flicks it on. No one in the area there. They'll go back over to the Toros. I think Dolly might have been expecting Hurst to making a burst forward, but Hurst had stayed back a little bit, thinking Dolly might be just bringing the ball down to his feet. Seymour playing this back, and the keeper alertly comes out as Francois was charging in there. I think Francois could smell blood in the water on that one. Tambacas able to keep it clear. Toros on the move once more. Here's Ruiz. Now finds Francois. They're giving him a little space there. They'll pass off to Davila. Probably a little too far out for his taste. He'll chip it over to the left side. Ritondoli over there. Ritondoli goes down in a heap, and he is in pain.
That's going to draw a yellow. Coming in was Santiago Moar. Oh, he's got cleats up. Oh, no.
Yeah, I thought he was hit in the chest or something, but yes, actually hit in the face.
I'm actually surprised that was just a yellow and not a red when you've got cleats up to the head of your opponent.
Yeah, that was definitely a dangerous play there by Moar, who's from Spain. Picked up his second booking of the season. And we've got another stoppage, so it should be quite a bit of stoppage time here in this first half. Ritondoli, you can see, is still down. Moad right there. Moad, a veteran player, 29 years old. Has 9 shots this season, so he's been active, and has 1 goal. Ritondoli, just 20 years old, out of Argentina. The USL Academy player. Here we see the Toros bench. Might be thinking about taking Ritondoli off, depending on the severity of his injury. Don't see any markings on his face, but I'm sure he was stunned. Looks like he'll stay out there.
Looks like he's looking at that left arm. Might have had a cleat drug down that arm.
Yeah, I think he did. But he will have a free kick here in the attacking third for the Toros. Chance for them here late in the first half to extend their lead. They've yet to score 2 goals this season, in fact. Here's Toros. Screamer into the box is headed out. Toros will regroup. There's Coronado. He's going to send it into the mixer. Keeper stays back. It's flicked on by United. And looks like it's going to go out for a throw-in. They're going to say it did not touch a United defender, so it'll be a throw-in here for the visitors. We're in minute 44, but I'm sure at least 5 minutes or so should be added on. This will be Suggs to throw it in. He's a former Colorado Springs switchback from Las Cruces, New Mexico. United throw in once more. Suggs with a quick throw in. Headed to the foot of Hurst. Hurst is upended. And they're going to say a foul called here on Coronado. And this will be a free kick here for United here at midfield.
It's a wrong place, wrong time for Coronado. He gets tripped up right in front of Hurst. Hurst ends up tripping over him. That's what leads to the foul and the restart in favor of New Mexico United.
You see Coronado was wrestling there with Yearwood. Quick restart here by New Mexico United. And Toros putting on all kinds of pressure here on United's defensive half. Portillo forced to retreat and send it over to the left side. A little more space there for United to work with. There's Suggs with it. Suggs pressured by Ruiz. Has to send that one back. Now Seymour playing at the center back tonight. It was a center back last week, but it was in a 4-man back line. Tonight it's a 3-man back line. Three minutes to be added on. It's kind of expecting 5+, but we'll get 3 minutes extra here. We're already into extra time. Toros on the move. Here's Coronado weaving through traffic. See the Toros putting a lot of numbers forward here. Got 8 players in the attacking half. Staying aggressive on their offense despite getting the early goal. On their first shot of the game, in fact, it's Toros finds Ritondole. Seems to have recovered after catching a boot in the face moments ago. Francois has it kicked away from him. And now we've got a free kick awarded. This looks like it'll be a United free kick. And I think a booking here, the first of the game on the Toros, that's going to be Francois.
Cristiano Francois just a little bit too aggressive here. You see playing through the body. Just kind of steps on the foot there of the United players. They try to clear it away.
Yeah, Portillo there going down. Ball played to Ryden, who, feeling a little bit of heat, decides to pass it back to his keeper. Now you're trying to play a little keep away here. Still got about a minute left here in the first half. Toros have led for most of it. Scoring in the 7th minute, take the 1-0 lead. A nice intercept there by Ricketts and gets it to the foot of Ruiz. Ruiz, a real playmaker for this Toros team. Make all kinds of things happen. Spark the offense. At the foot of Davila now, and he'll pass it back. Toros running out of time here a little bit, maybe 30 seconds left. They want to generate one more attack. They'll play it all the way back to Derek now. Derek able to clear it over into the New Mexico United defensive side. Ball goes out of play. Toros will have a throw in here. Maybe one more chance here before halftime for them to get something at the net. Actually, this is going to be a free kick. And there we see why.
Rivas a little too physical there. As the ball gets past both he and Ricketts. Just kind of falls on Ricketts and carries him to the turf.
See the free kick just inside the Toros half. And before Cabezas can take it, the referee blows the whistle, and we are at halftime. Aquay trots off, and there's Suggs, and it's the Toros in front. 1-0 on the strength of a Cristiano Francois goal early on. Toros lead here at the break. Coming up, we're going to look around the USL, talk a little bit about the Toros locally here, and then we've got some highlights and some stats and standings and schedules to show you. A lot to show you here at halftime. Don't go away. You're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
At HEB, we're inspired by Mexico. The colors, the flavors, and aromas. And we want to share them with you. So we created the HEB Mi Tienda family of products with authentic Mexican flavors, from savory marinated meats, frijoles and queso, to tamales, soft drinks, and more. HEB Mi Tienda brings you the traditional flavors you love. One more reason here, everything's better.
When it comes to our familia, we all have our own flavor and expression. At Tequila de Corralejo, we believe sharing our individuality is what makes gathering together so fun. Here's to those who stand tall and share their passion.
Espinos Tires on FAR 83 has been serving the Valley for over 30 years. We offer a wide assortment of tires, wheels, and auto parts. Let us build your dream vehicle with only $49 down. No credit required.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank. Did you know when you bank with Lone Star National Bank, you're investing in your community? By creating jobs that stimulate our local economy, creating success that we share with our community. In fact, Lone Star National Bank donates more money and more volunteers to more causes than all other area banks combined. We do what the little banks can't, and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
And we're back here at HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. 1-0 our score. Toros in front. And time for our halftime report, Brian.
A special thanks to our halftime sponsor, Live Oak Vodka, the official vodka sponsor of the Rio Grande Valley Toros. Quite a bit of action in the first half, but let's tell you about what's happening across the USL with our USL feature.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
be excited about what this season still holds across the USL. Taking a look back at last week's action, we'll look at your team of the week for week number 8. Your player of the week is Birmingham Legion's Enzo Martinez, and what a performance he had coming out. His performance allowed him to really kind of set the pace for Birmingham. 2 goals and an assist in leading Legion to a 3-2 victory over Hartford Athletic this past Sunday. Congrats to him on his player of the week selection. A couple of familiar names may stand out for you from the 2 teams you've seen on the pitch this evening. Rio Grande Valley defender Jonathan Ricketts finds himself as a member of the team of the week, having 3 tackles, 5 duels won, and winning 12 of 13 aerial duels to help Rio Grande Valley pick up that 0-0 draw against Monterey Bay. On the other side for New Mexico United, Joshua Darling had himself quite a performance as well, as he picked up 3 assists to lead his team to that 3-1 victory over Orange County. Elsewhere on the honorable mention bench team, Sergio Rivas and Greg Hurst of New Mexico United found themselves getting a few accolades in this one. Also important to talk about everything that's going on here in the Rio Grande Valley. The Toros have really become the Valley's team over the last number of seasons, and no further explanation than that than what you've seen in their effort in the community. This past week, Rio Grande Valley attended a local Ellenberg Elementary High School, got to see some of those wonderful future athletes at the high school, but on top of that, had a chance to show some appreciation for Teacher Appreciation Week. They brought out some gifts, some advice for what would mean to be a player in the future for those wonderful students they got to meet in the elementary school. Coming up this coming week, they'll have a very similar outcome ahead of them. On May the 12th, they're going to go to a career day at a high school here in Mission, Texas, just a couple miles down the road from us, specifically to talk about the kind of career path that led them to be professional soccer athletes, as well as some attendance from the front office staff here with the Toros, who are here to support careers in sports for those interested in the Rio Grande Valley. Take a look also at your scores across the USL on the evening. We are in action right now. You know Rio Grande Valley leads this one 1-0. 3 other games yet to kick off, as Colorado will be at El Paso, Monterey Bay hosts Pittsburgh, and Charleston makes the trip out to the desert to face Las Vegas.
Yeah, the Las Vegas Lights, in fact, they were in the news this week because they had made a deal with New Mexico United. Lights announced that the club acquired defender Timothy Zali, who's a Swiss defender. They got him from New Mexico United. Zali had played in 1 game for New Mexico United. That was a 6-0 win against UDA Soccer Academy in the second round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. So let's take a quick break. We'll continue here at halftime. We'll take a look at some highlights and talk about some stats here from the first half when we come back. Right now, you're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
At HEB, we're inspired by Mexico. The colors, the flavors, and aromas. And we want to share them with you. So we created the HEB Mi Tienda family of products with authentic Mexican flavors, from savory marinated meats, frijoles and queso, to tamales, soft drinks, and more. HEB Mi Tienda brings you the traditional flavors you love. One more reason here, everything's better.
When it comes to our familia, we all have our own flavor and expression. At Tequila de Corralejo, we believe sharing our individuality is what makes gathering together so fun. Here's to those who stand tall and share their passion.
Espinos Tires on FAR 83 has been serving the Valley for over 30 years. We offer a wide assortment of tires, wheels, and auto parts. Let us build your dream vehicle with only $49 down. No credit required.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank. Did you know when you bank with Lone Star National Bank, you're investing in your community? By creating jobs that stimulate our local economy, creating success that we share with our community. In fact, Lone Star National Bank donates more money and more volunteers to more causes than all other area banks combined. We do what the little banks can't, and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's Bank.
Back here at HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas, we got some halftime festivities going on, and why not? It was a pretty exciting first half. Brian, take us through it.
And lots of action going both ways. Rio Grande Valley were the ones to break through. And you see here, Cristiano Francois was a spectacular part of that attack early on. In fact, he got that nice strike, little give and go with Juan David Cabezas, able to slip that one through. That put the Toros up 1-0. Plenty of reasons to celebrate as that had the offense on all cylinders. Coming back the other way, though, Mexico United had a couple of pretty good opportunities there. Benitez has to clear that away after he gets past Tyler Derrick. Davila took a pretty good swing at this one, floats it just a little bit high, but anytime something big was happening on the pitch, it seemed that Cristiano Francois found himself in the middle of it. That's why the Toros find themselves up 1-0 here at the half.
All right, and that's maybe take a look at schedules going around for these two teams.
Plenty of action. We're still in the early going. If you look at what Mexico United has in front of them, they have played so many matches on the road to open the season, and that's going to continue over their next 5. They're going to go home to host Monterey Bay on the 13th, but then they're back out on the road again. The 17th, they're at Loud. 27th, they'll face San Antonio, who has just been a powerhouse in the West the last couple of years. They'll return home to face the El Paso Locomotive and then head south, and they'll have the Tampa Bay Rowdies in the early part of June.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is going to be a Toros opponent in the not-too-distant future.
Here's that schedule for Rio Grande Valley. Conclusion of this one, they'll hit the road. They'll be at San Diego Loyal on the 13th. They'll be back home for 2 as they'll host Tampa Bay and the Charleston Battery. They'll open June in Orange County to face Orange County SC before coming back home to host Miami FC. All those games on ESPN+.
Yeah, and Charleston Battery, a very strong team, kind of the early surprise this season as they jumped out. They're one of the top 2 teams in Group East right now. And how about our stats, Brian? I was taking a look at that. Of course, we have the goal by Francois, the difference right now, and 3 shots to 2 in favor of the Toros, but shots on goal 2-1 in favor of the Toros, and then 4 corner kicks for the Toros, none for New Mexico United. Quite a few fouls in the first half, 9 on New Mexico United, 7 on the Toros. 4 bookings on United and just 1 on the Toros in that first half. 1 save made, and that was by the United keeper, Tambacas. Derrick had a partial save that really went to Benitez. That Benitez was able to clear off the line and prevent equalizer by United early on. All right, we can take a look at the standings right now as well in the USL Championship. And there we have the West standings, Brian.
And you see right here, you've got New Mexico and Rio Grande Valley just outside of the top 8. Remember, top 8 teams will make the playoffs. But should this standing hold up, Rio Grande Valley would actually find themselves being catapulted into a tie for 7th. And then given that Phoenix Rising had played 1 less game, they would technically be the 7th seed. Rio Grande Valley would find themselves in the 8th. But look at how tightly everything is packed up. And another 3 points for Rio Grande Valley if they picked up a win earlier in the year, they could find themselves as high as 4th. So 10th to 4th is really only separated by 2 wins here in the early going.
Yeah, and you can see Las Vegas still struggling, only team without a victory so far through 6 matches. They had 1 postponed early, that's why they played so few, but still Las Vegas, I guess, still trying to find the light, if you will, out west. And you can see it's going to be a very tight race. Sacramento Republic, the class of the league right now, as they are unbeaten through 8 matches. And they were the team last year that advanced all the way to the final of the U.S. Open Cup, losing to, I believe it was Orlando City, an MLS side, in the final. And spirited run by Republic last year. I know the whole league was kind of rooting for them in that tournament. About ready for the second half to start now. And there we see Rivas had a goal last week, or excuse me, Moad. And Moad had a booking earlier in the first half. Spanish player came in with 9 shots this season, just 1 off the team lead.
That all-everything defender for Rio Grande Valley Aquay, and I think This game has gone exactly how Coach Cabrera would like to have seen his team perform. They came out, they were the aggressor early. They got New Mexico back on their heels and kind of frustrated them. You saw that frustration spill over by a little bit of over-aggressive play on defense, and it played directly into what the Toros wanted to do. They got the goal, and they picked up a number of bookings against New Mexico United in the first 45.
That was interesting there as the Toros kicked off, and they sent Ricketts, their defender, streaking down that right wing. You saw him get that header, had way too much on it. It went out of play, but an interesting little play there by the Toros to start off the second half. Maybe trying to catch United a little bit unawares. And that was something you talked about early in the first half, Brian. He's that Swiss Army knife, isn't he? He can go anywhere.
I think his size, his speed, his physical prowess, you could put him in just about every position out here on the pitch, and he would find some success.
And Toros again putting on pressure in United's defensive third. United, ooh, nice little one-touch there. I think that was Suggs, and here's a chance for United. A lot of space here on the left wing coming into the area. It's passed back, intercepted by Ricketts. They were trying to get it to Dalling. I believe that was Suggs who had it on the left side. Tried to do a little back pass to Dalling, and Ricketts was there to anticipate it and break up that opportunity for New Mexico.
Well, if the first half was all Francois, the start of the second half has been Jonathan Ricketts. Jumps in to break up that pass and puts the Toros in a pretty good spot to attack back the other way. Just a lot of really high-quality talent on this Toros team, and they find themselves in control here in the second half.
There's Akwe with it, Dalling behind him. Akwe will send it forward. Davila. Davila's had one shot tonight, trying to add to his 2-goal total on the season. Ritondole running up, and he'll send it into the box, and it's headed out by New Mexico United. Kept in play for a moment there by Yearwood, but that goes out for a throw-in. So the Toros beginning this second half much like they began the first half. So Ritondole sending that in. It was headed out by Ryden. Toros with a lot of pressure, a lot of aggressive play here to open this second half. First half they scored in the 7th minute. And there's a shot, just over the bar. Nice little one-touch move there by Coronado. And Bacchus looked like he had position on it. So he had come off his line just a little bit.
Nice touch here by Jose Torres to drop it into Coronado, and he just immediately puts a boot to it and floated that just a little. You see, he gives his thumbs up to Torres. He said, that was right where I needed it. It just carried a slight bit too much.
Opening 5 minutes here at the second half here at HEB Park. It's been all Toros here so far. We hear more pressure by Rio Grande Valley. Yearwood with 2 markers on him had Torres kick it away from him. And Seymour chasing this one down is going to let it go out of play for a goal kick. Seymour complaining there that Francois maybe was a little too aggressive. Francois, the only Toro player booked in the first half.
And therefore, he's got to be careful. When you're carrying a yellow, you've got to be extremely careful. A second yellow is a red.
Mm-hmm. And your team has to play a man down the rest of the way. Ball taken down at midfield, but kicked away by Yearwood, it looks like. Akwe gets ahead on it. And United trying to assert themselves in the attacking half. Oh, nice play there by Rivas. They had a man running down with Suggs, but Akwe was there to intercept for the Toros. Now Ruiz from Lake Elsinore, California, finds Torres, who has to one-touch, and Torres is hurt. He goes down. Play will continue. Torres hurt at midfield. You can see there, holding his head and clearly in pain. And I think the referee's going to stop it now. I think, believe in soccer referees, if they see generally an injury, they'll let play continue, but I think if it's a head injury, they'll stop it immediately. And you see here, yeah, he just got an elbow and may have even...
I think Moar even landed on him, too, after he was already down on the pitch.
He's being attended to. Players take advantage of the opportunity to get some water, get hydrated. See Cabezas there on the right side of your screen wearing that captain's armband. Generally, when he's on the pitch, he'll be wearing the captain's armband. There's Moad. And Toros may come over to get looked at for a moment. Toros fans into it. You can hear all the noise.
But those big drums over in the Zona Naranja, they're beating to the sound of these Toros. And yeah, you see, Toros got it bad from two directions. He ends up getting a little bit of whiplash there as he's hitting pretty hard. And then as he's on the pitch, Moar falls on top of him.
So back to play now. Toros facing tight marking here by New Mexico United. United able to gain momentary possession, but kick that one out of play. Just kind of give their team a chance to catch a breath, I think, there as the Toros are trying to pour it on. Toros clearly not satisfied with the 1-goal lead. They want to get that second goal and really tighten the pressure on United. Go into Coronado, back to Ritondole. And nice anticipation by Moura to jump in there and intercept the ball. Now Darling on the right side has it kicked away from him. United will bring some numbers forward. Now we'll have a throw in here in the attacking third. Soft pass back to Yearwood. He had no choice but to send it back to the back line. And Ryden has it at his feet now. United content to just maintain possession here. Toros with a tight defense, an airtight defense. United still trying to find a seam here. Finally, they do some quick passing. Here's Hurst with it. And Hurst trying to back pass, had it kicked away from him by Toros, who remained on the pitch, by the way. Came back up to 11v11. Now, Hurst is an interesting name that I'm sure any England football fan would be familiar with. Famous player Jeff Hurst helped England win its only World Cup back in the 1960s. Had a hat trick against West Germany in the '66 final. And Greg Hurst, though, is from Scotland. Jeff Hurst was from England. Ball kicked up into midfield, headed forward by United. And a nice little flick on there, but it goes to the foot of Akwe. See the frustration on Hurst's face as he thought he had a teammate in that area. This will be a throw in here for Rio Grande Valley. 54th minute now. Toros have kind of dominated play here in the early going of the second half. Ricketts with the throw in. Francois keeps that in. But United with the intercept, and here's Moad. Moad, the Spaniard, will send it forward for his teammate Hurst. Now a lot of pressure here being put on by the Toros. Almost a triple mark there on Rivas. And we're going to see our first substitution tonight.
Coming in will be Armando Moreno, as he will play Santiago Moad. Additionally, looks like Harrison Schwartz will come in for New Mexico United, replacing Joshua Suggs. Suggs running off right now. We'll allow Schwartz in.
Schwartz from Needham, Massachusetts, 27-year-old defender. I think he drew a start last week in that 3-1 win for United against Orange County.
The other substitution being Armando Moreno. He's going to bring some pretty serious speed onto the pitch for New Mexico United. 5'5", 150. He does have a goal on the year and 6 chances created. He is a very, very quick midfielder. Might be able to change the pace of play here for New Mexico United.
So it's kicked away from Moreno there just a moment ago. Here's Ryden and Francois dueling for the ball. Both go down after a collision. Play allowed to continue here. United trying to get out of trouble here, but the Toros pressure able to generate the turnover. Avila sends it forward. Got an overlapping player there, and Ruiz. Ruiz with 4 markers near him, trying to find an open man. Does now. It's Toros. Toros, who was shaken up a moment ago. Got hit in the head. Seems okay now. Nice little sliding tackle attempt there by Coronado. Putting all kinds of pressure on Schwartz. United with a lot of quick passing, trying to get out of trouble here. Toros putting on pressure. Now Coronado has it, but there's a foul call. This will be a free kick here for New Mexico United. 9 fouls against United, 8 on the Toros. Toros had a season-high 18 fouls called against them last week. Tambacas to take this free kick. On the season, Tambacas has played in every game, has 14 saves. This is his 7th appearance in the USL Championship for this season. Went a little bit too far for his teammates, and Toros end up with it. They'll send it deep left side, looking for Francois there. A little too far ahead for him, and it's going to be goal kick. And Bacchus quickly putting this back in play. Got it to Portillo. And here the Toros laying off a little bit. Hurst dispossessed at midfield. That's Cabezas with it. Cabezas spinning like a top and picks up a foul there as the frustrated Hurst grabbed his jersey. There's Ruiz. Going to chip it to the left side. Has a man there. It's a header. But chested down by United. United able to clear it. Goes to the foot of Gabriel Benitez. Benitez, who's from Venezuela. Aris Coronado. Ritondole. Toros have a lot of space on the far side of the pitch. See if they notice that here and try to get it over there. Could be a throw in here right in front of New Mexico United's bench. Ritondole with the throw in. C.C. Moore went off him. Toros still looking for that second goal, something that has eluded them all season long. Had no more than 1 goal in any game this season. The header there back to Derek. Nice little play there by Ricketts. Demanded the soft touch, and he was able to deliver. Ritondole with the intercept. Chance here for the Toros to get something going. Francois trying to get inside, is tripped up from behind. This might be a booking. Hamilton gets kind of a verbal warning, which is fortunate for him as he did pick up a yellow back in the first half.
It's a good call there. I don't think that deserves the yellow. It definitely deserves a foul for taking Francois' legs out from under him. You see, the official has to have a quick conversation with Wilmer Cabrera. He was arguing, how do you not give a card there? But looking at the replay, I think Francois was kind of in the air, moving away when the contact came. So not necessarily playing his body, which would lead to the yellow.
The 11th foul called against New Mexico United. Free kick. Otis has taken them all tonight, and he takes this one. And now they do go to attack on that right side. Here's Ricketts. Nothing in front of him, so he'll send it back to the left. There's Toros now with room in front. A good job by Davila to keep that from going out, and then Toros can maintain their attack here as they fire over to the left side, and this time it goes out of play. And New Mexico United, I guess for the Toros, they're thinking maybe the best defense is a good offense here in the early going of this second half.
And keep the pressure up. The pressure has been what's played into your hand so well. What you have to be careful of is you let off, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on your heels defensively. You allow a comeback to build. If you stay aggressive, that's what's been successful. What's the saying? If it's not broke, no need to fix it. And it's certainly not broke right now if you are Rio Grande Valley.
So a close-up of Darling there, who was falling down with the ball, ricocheted off him and out of play. Maybe feeling that he may have been fouled in the process. Nevertheless, New Mexico United ending up with possession here, at least momentarily. Midfield duel there, won by Cabezas and the Toros. Back on the attack here. Ricketts will bring it just across. And now Ruiz will pop it over to the left side. Ritondali with a little one-touch, trying to get it to Coronado. Been intercepted here by United. And now a foul called, and this will be free kick for the visitors. And Bacchus with it. And you can see the Toros have gone back to pressure again. That opens it up possibly for the long pass, which United immediately went to, trying to get it to Moreno, who has fresh legs. But Aquay able to break it up for the Toros. 1-0 our score. Francois with the goal early on. And here's a chance here. This is Rivas sending it forward. That's Darling. Darling trying to get turned now. Finds Moreno. Quickly draws two markers. Darling keeps the opportunity alive here. I'll restart the build-up. Back to Yearwood. All the way back to Ryden. So an opportunity there that started off in the penalty area for the Toros, and the Toros defense able to force United all the way back now to their keeper. A little bit of pressure by the Toros, and Hamilton able to get control, get turned, and push it forward. It's at the foot of Yearwood. Yearwood's going to push it up from his defensive spot, trying to get around Ruiz. Maybe he can center the ball. Does! A shot save made by Derek. Shot there by Rivas after a terrific run upfield by Yearwood.
And a great look at Yearwood's speed there. He was dragging Toros with him and is able to just beat them down the line right here. And another beautiful cross into the box. They just could not finish past the big cat, Tyler Derrick.
Yeah, Derrick, sometimes, I'm sure keepers, the less pressure, the better. But sometimes that can erode your skills or your reflexes a little bit if you have too much downtime on your end of the pitch. That was actually Derrick's first save of the match.
So we'll get a substitution now for the Toros as Frank Lopez comes in to replace Cristiano Francois. Additionally, Wilmer Cabrera also going to make an appearance in this one as he will replace Jose Torres.
See Francois coming off. Francois has the goal. Torres with a lot of touches in this game, taking all the free kicks. And Francois getting a hug from his head coach. And we see Frank Lopez coming on. Now, Frank Lopez tied for the team lead with 7 goals last year. Most of that was early in the season. And then he had some injury problems in the latter half of last year. And I think has continued to struggle with injuries off and on throughout this season. "21 combined fouls between these two. 10 on the Toros, 11 on United. See a quick pressure here. That's Lopez coming in. And Lopez able to generate a turnover as it's stolen by Davila. United getting it right back, and now they have an opportunity. They've got 5 men forward. Here's a steal here by Ritondole. And now the Toros will push it up. So kind of end-to-end action going on here mid-second half. This is Cabrera, just came onto the pitch. Finds Lopez, trying to get turned. And Lopez over to the right side. He's got Ruiz there. Ruiz, turns and fires, but a nice block there. I believe that was Seymour. No correction, Yearwood. But we've seen some terrific blocks by this New Mexico United team here tonight. Toros still on the attack here. 66th minute. Embesas now to Davila. Davila eludes 2 markers, buys himself some time, looking for help. Coronado retreats. Lopez still has those playmaking instincts. We saw that a moment ago as he quickly put on pressure, generated a turnover, then almost got a shot off. Ultimately went to Ruiz, who had his shot attempt blocked inside the area. Chance now for the Toros as Davila sends it through, but no one there for Rio Grande Valley. And Bacchus has an easy intercept.
The defense for New Mexico United stands tall again, but there was a mounting level of pressure there from Rio Grande Valley over the last 2 minutes. You see Bacchus slows it down, takes a deep breath, and says, let's give ourselves a second here. We were playing on a knife's edge for a moment.
Now pressure applied by United. Toros seem to be handling that okay as Acque will send over to the right side. That's Ricketts. Now Cabezas will try the long ball. And why not? He's got Cabrera there. He's also got Ritondole overlapping to his left. Finds Ritondole, centers the ball, and it's picked up by the keeper. Was trying to get it to Lopez there. Lopez unable to get to it in time, and Tambacas saves it.
Tambacas has seen quite a bit of action in this one. I think everyone watching the USL standings probably thought you were going to see most of the action coming from New Mexico United, but it's been Rio Grande Valley the aggressor in this one.
Everybody can see a booking on Darling. I think this is Ruiz who got fouled.
It's Cabrera.
Oh, Cabrera, you're right.
Ends up having his legs taken out from under him as he gets past Darling.
Cabrera, who just came onto the pitch, just 22 years old. He started several games, but has come off the bench in the last 2. Cabrera with 10 shots, which is tied for the team lead, so he's certainly somebody who can be busy out there.
Substitution now for New Mexico United. Alex Wagner going to come in. He'll replace Darling, who just picked up that yellow.
Yeah, Darling out of England. His night is done, and the night is just beginning there for Wagner's out of Taos, New Mexico, 18 years old. I believe he also went to high school in Santa Fe. Came on as a second half sub last week in the 3-1 win over the Orange County. 69th minute now. We're a little past the halfway point of the second half. Still anybody's game at this point, as we've seen both teams able to generate some offense. Toros have had a little more of it here in this second half. Total shots is 5-3 in favor of the Toros right now. Here's Cabrera. Cabrera moving inside, looking to center it. It's headed out by the defense. That looked like it was Ryden who was able to get the head on that one.
Cabrera with a spectacular dribble there. It was a little now you see me, now you don't with that ball. Had the defender on skates. Take a look at right this. Comes right, cuts back left. You see Swartz is just on his head, swiveling around, trying to find where the ball ends up. Nice job by his teammates to help him in getting that clearance.
Cabrera on the move again. Ball goes up to Cabezas. Cabezas kind of like in the point guard position there. It's headed the area again, and Seymour able to head that one clear. It'll be another corner kick, first of the second half here for Rio Grande Valley.
Anytime something spectacular happens defensively for New Mexico United, it feels like Seymour is somewhere in the mix. Spectacular sliding tackles, a very heady head away there.
Yeah, his technique is just textbook. We saw him save a probable goal in the first half when Francois was charging in. Able to kick it away from Francois just a nanosecond before Francois would have fired. Here's Davila taking this corner kick as Toros is now off the pitch. That goes out of play. It'll be a goal kick here for New Mexico United. This one goes to Ricky Ruiz once more. Finds Davila. Davila kind of get it forward to Lopez. A shot, and it's wide. Lopez able to turn and fire quickly there. Didn't quite have the angle he wanted, I think.
Anytime Frank Lopez is finding comfort with swinging one of his legs, that bodes well for Rio Grande Valley. And you see here, that was slipped in. It's a really sharp angle, but Lopez got quite a bit of oomph in that right foot. That one carries just a little bit wide right.
And the offside flag did stay down. Ryden was the one who was kind of sliding in, trying to block it there. But Lopez was able to get off a clean shot. Now Swartz will throw it in. Swartz is 5'9", 160 pounds. Chance there for United, but broken up as Akwe gets the intercept. Headed forward by United, and there's still another chance here brewing for New Mexico. Swartz keeps it alive on the touchline. Oh, and it's behind Hurst and goes out of play.
Little miscommunication there for New Mexico United. Looked like they thought Hurst was going to hang back just a little bit. So they play it back, but he had run through it, so the ball just gently slips behind him for a throw-in for Rio Grande Valley.
It was Rivas who was trying to feed the ball to him. Rivas and Hurst, in fact, had the goals last week. Hurst with 2 and Rivas with 1. 3-1 win over Orange County. Toros were scoreless the last 3 games. And I know we're happy to have 1 goal here tonight to end that streak, but they want to add a second. They continue with the pressure, have continued all game long to look for that second goal. Derek finds Akwe on the right side. See some pressure here by United. And now a chance for the Toros here. 3v3. Ritondoli coming into the mix at the bottom of your screen. Now fires to Cabrera, shoots, he scores! Cabrera scores, and the Toros are up 2-0.
That was sold beautifully by Rio Grande Valley. Father and son get a nice hug there. As Wilmer Cabrera slides forward, he stays to the left and keeps separation between himself and the defense. And as Davila moves into the middle, he sells that he's going to be the attacker. The defense has to bite. And then a soft little slip over to Wilmer Cabrera to the left. And he gets a top-level bend right here, right around Tembacas. Huge goal for Rio Grande Valley, now up 2-0.
Davila with a great pass there to pick up the assist. You see Cabrera's first goal of the season. And the first time the Toros have scored twice in the same game. Their offense has struggled this season, but the offense kind of uncorked here tonight. And now New Mexico United in a deep hole. They're down 2 goals with just about 16 minutes now to play. United had come in playing pretty well. We had mentioned a 2-game win streak, including a U.S. Open Cup win. 5 goals in their last 2 outings. And a team that's has not been shut out since the season opener back in March. So they're a team used to scoring. Still have some time, but not a lot of time. Yearwood's going to try to get that inside. It goes off Akwe for a corner kick. That's a good start if you're a United fan. Generate some set pieces.
This corner is going to be taken by Justin Portillo.
Portillo out of New Orleans, 30 years old. Only 5'6". He's a feisty midfielder. We see him involved in a lot of the play, both up and down the pitch. More of a defensive midfielder. This will curl inside, and Derek comes out and grabs that one at his 6-yard line. So Derek extending his 6'3" frame, taking no chances there. As that one came close to him, he decided to go after it. Ritondoli with a good job there to chest that down and keep it in play. Now here's Cabrera again. Oh, trying to slip it forward for Lopez. And it was kicked away there by Seymour. Another chance here. Here's Ruiz. Oh, big save there by Tambacas. Then cleared away by United. Excellent save there and a great shot by Ruiz. Toros still with possession here. We're in the final 15 minutes. Just a frenzy by both teams here. Coronado, send it back to Acque. Again, that feeling that the best defense is a good offense. Toros want to keep possession here. Davila to Coronado. And now Ritondole. So Cabrera was knocked down. Play continues. Another player knocked down. And referee's going to give the advantage here. It's taken back by the Toros. So he allowed play to continue there, and the Toros end up with it here in the attacking third. A heavy touch there by Ritondole. Able to maintain possession, however. This kind of serves two functions, doesn't it, Brian? You've got the Toros kind of waiting for their moment of opportunity, but at the same time, New Mexico's energy reserves are being taxed.
And you're continuing to burn that clock down up 2-0. It's playing directly into the Toros' hand here. This has been a top-level performance for Rio Grande Valley.
And we saw a shot there by Benitez, the defender. He kind of came up. And Bacchus in good position to make that save. And Toros with 5 shots on net here tonight. That was another place where they had struggled. They only had 1 shot on target last week in that 0-0 draw with Monterey Bay. Ryden will play it up. A heavy touch there by Moreno, and United forced to retreat. 78 minutes complete now here at HEB Park. Toros up by 2. Haven't won at home all season. They began the year with a 3-game homestand. All 3 of those were draws. They went on the road and won. And then they went into a 2-game slide. One of those one of those losses was here at HEB Park. And the other loss on the road in Pittsburgh. Acque playing this one back for Derek. Sent up by Benitez. And the ball goes out of play. We're going to see several more substitutions now, aren't we?
It looks like coming in now will be Ian Settle for Rio Grande Valley. He's going to replace Taylor Davila.
Settle's from Miami, 26-year-old midfielder.
Additionally, for Mexico United, Ravian will come in.
Yeah, Yearwood coming out.
Also coming in will be Adrian Robles, as he'll replace Greg Hurst.
We saw also Taylor Davila coming out. Davila's had a good night. Some good looks, good passes, had an assist on the second goal. Subs were a little hard to keep track there, but I believe each team still has 1 left. They're allowed 5 subs in the USL Championship. Cabezas trying to win the ball there at midfield. United able to maintain possession for the moment. Goes to the foot of Robles, who just came onto the pitch, and he's dispossessed. Andres Robles, the midfielder. Here's Ritondole now with it. It's it up to Coronado. And now they'll shift the attack over to the right side. We're in the 81st minute now. 2-0, Toros in front. A couple of players with their first goals of the season. Francois in the first half and Cabrera in the second half. Ritondole trying to pop it over Robles. United kicks it upfield. Well, this will be a throw in here for United. Wagner chests it down for Robles, but then it goes out of play, and the Toros will have it back.
It looked like United perhaps got a little ahead of themselves. They were playing a little too quickly. Because of that, just a touch out of control. Not able to keep that one in.
First touch there by Robles, and United able to get possession here in the attacking third, or no, there's going to be a whistle and a free kick awarded to Rio Grande Valley. A couple of Toros are down. Coronado slow to get up. Ritondole also maybe feeling the effects of 82 minutes of soccer here tonight in this humid air. Coronado coming down kind of awkwardly there. So we've got a hydration break here for the players as Ritondole is being looked after. Next game for the Toros, they'll be going on the road a week from tomorrow. They'll be in California to take on San Diego Loyal. A substitution about to come on. They're going to take Ritondole out, it looks like, and Eric Pimentel will come in. And then Frank Nodarce is going to come in as well. So evidently Toros had 2 subs left, and they'll use them both right now.
Looks like Ritondale and Ricketts are going to come out to allow Nodarce and Pimentel.
Eric Pimentel, he's a real aggressive player on that back line, real feisty veteran. Very can break up attacks, but he can also be a little too aggressive at times, can't he?
And he's got the 2 red cards that the Toros have on the year, both times for being just a little too aggressive in those heated moments. Kind of feast or famine with him. He's physical, so he's not going to give up easy goals, but at the same time, he can also be a little over-aggressive.
Pimentel from Mexico's played on some champions in the Mexico's Liga. La Liga Mexico. Toros getting the turnover here. Saw a moment ago, Cabrera was trying to get something going just on the edge of the box there on the New Mexico United side. That was broken up. Now here's United with an opportunity. Goes to Moreno. They'll pass this back. And United bringing a lot of players forward. They've got 10 in the attacking half right now. They need 2 goals to force an equalizer. Ruiz with the intercept, and back come the Toros. 84 minutes complete now. The ball played by Seto. Came in as a second half sub to play in the midfield. Long pass to Cabrera. Cabrera with 1 goal already tonight. And Cabrera inside was trying to work the give and go there, but didn't pan out. New Mexico United intercepts. So Seto and Cabrera. And now United with acres of space on the left side. Now move into the attack, and they'll bring everybody up. Portillo there. It's midfield spot. Gets to Robles. Goes over his foot, but Swartz is there. Swartz will send it into the box. A little bouncer, and Akwe is there to kick that free. So this will be a throw-in for United in the attacking third. We're in the 86th minute now here at HEB Park. Toros looking for what would be their first win at home this season. Be just their second win overall. And more importantly, if they get all 3 points, that can move them back into the playoff picture. Here's a free kick in a dangerous spot awarded to New Mexico United. We had mentioned at the top of the broadcast that United has never won here at HEB Park. They've lost 3 times, they've drawn once. They'd be satisfied with a draw tonight. They've got to score 2, and they've got to score them fast. This is Hamilton standing over this free kick opportunity. Or correction, it's Portillo. Headed out by Cabrera. And Robles chasing this one down. Now Moreno with it. A little bit of pressure there on Swartz, so he's forced to play it back to his keeper. Not something United wants to keep doing. As time very much a factor now here in the 87th minute. United's 2-game win streak in jeopardy. Hamilton plays it to Portillo. Robles forced to pass it back in order for United to maintain possession. Trying to send it into the box. Pimentel is there for the header. Had 2 players streaking down the middle of the box. United trying to get something down there, but Pimentel able to get a good read. Out Moreno. Moreno with 2 markers on him. Is able to center the ball. Gets over Derek, over Pimentel. Here's Robles. First cross was blocked, but he's able to recover that one and find Swartz. In the 88th minute. Back to Portillo. Portillo's going to kick it toward the far side of the box. Headed down by Nodarce. But United still with possession. They'll switch back the attack again to Robles. Heavy touch there. And the Toros able to generate a free kick here. That's going to be on Robles, whose first touch put him in a spot of bother. Robles just 19 years old. Foul picked up by Cabrera. Cabrera out of Colombia, just like his father, 22 years old. Teams have combined for 25 fouls here tonight. 11 on the Toros, 14 on New Mexico United. Here's Pimentel. Sent that into a crowd of New Mexico players. Toros able to maintain possession though, and Derek, he sends it upfield. A nice header there by Portillo. Goes to the foot of Moreno. This is Yearwood, or excuse me, Seymour. Still, the Toros not giving up anything. No meaningful shots here for United here in the 9 minutes. We're at the 89th minute. Pimentel with it. Doesn't want to take a risk of sending it back toward Derek or sending it inside, so he's just going to kick it all the way down. And why not force United to have to go another 100 yards to try to get something at the Toros' goal. In the 90th minute now. No doubt there'll be some time added on. Keep an eye out for that. Here's Swartz. Now Rivas. Rivas with markers closing in. We're hearing now they're going to add 5 minutes. Extended on to the end of the second half. Not much time for United to work with, especially with the Toros' defense as stout as it's been. They've given up just 2 shots on target all night. Shot by, well, not a shot, but crossed there by Seymour, headed down. Hamilton tried a shot that was blocked in front. Darce getting on top of that one. And then Cabrera able to turn and send it forward. You can see there 5 minutes to go. Toros could pick up their 3rd clean sheet of the year. There's the offside flag went up. And to be their 2nd win of the season and 1st win at home. They'll have about 4.5 minutes that they've got to hold on. Here's they've won a free kick. United does, that is. Darce picked up the foul. Arvanian from Albuquerque picking up that foul. Came on as a substitute a moment ago. And there it goes into the box. Sprints off Derek, and there's a goal there by Swartz. Swartz puts it in. And it's a goal for New Mexico United. And Derek, very frustrated, losing the shutout and putting the win in jeopardy.
Got to play till the final whistle. New Mexico United knows that. You see it there. They've been building for a couple of minutes now. And that time they catch the Toros, perhaps taking a breather defensively. That ball bouncing around in the box plays right into their feet. Nice job by Schwartz of cleaning up the rebound in front of the net.
And that was a great job of redirecting the ball for that initial shot that I don't think Derek even saw, really. It just, he happened to be in the way of it, bounces off of him, then right to the foot of Schwartz, who was crashing the net. So Toros not out of danger by any stretch. Got about 3 more minutes to go here. And United with a resurgence of adrenaline, getting that first goal. As we said, they'd only been shut out 1 time this season. That was back in the opener. Here's Robles, going to send this one in. Derek has an eye on it, too far for him, and they've got the equalizer. New Mexico United, in the space of 90 seconds, has come back from 2 goals down, and we're all tied up.
Don't count a good offensive team down. New Mexico United needed bonus time to get goals. And wow, have they struck for some big-time performances there. Again, the defense for the Toros, a little lackadaisical in the box. Bouncing ball leads to a goal. A nice job finishing it there by Sergio Rivas.
Yeah, Rivas scores for the 2nd straight week. Trying to see who got that terrific header there. Kept the ball from going out of play, and it was kind of a misread by Derek. As good as a keeper as he is, saw that ball going toward the far post, thought he could get to it at least to punch it. Ended up missing the ball, and anytime a keeper comes out to play the ball and fails to make contact, it usually leads to trouble. And we've seen a couple of kind of pinball goals here by New Mexico United, both in stoppage time. And a 2-0 lead that looked pretty certain is now gone. It's 2-2. We've still got some action to go. About 2 minutes left in stoppage. Pass intercepted there by United. Now at this point, I'm sure the Toros are in a bit of shell shock, but you don't want to mess around and give up a 3rd goal. That would just be a complete disaster.
This is a really interesting situation. It looked like the Toros were going to come away with 3 points or perhaps put themselves back in the playoff picture. Now, if this draw holds up, the Toros will find themselves in a 3-way tie with New Mexico United and Oakland for that 8th spot, all with 8 points.
Put back in play there by Tambakis. United player Hamilton is knocked down. This will be a free kick for United. And maybe another opportunity here for them. I'm sure their adrenaline is surging right now. You've got less than a minute left here in stoppage. This is going to feel like a victory for United. They were down 2-0 after 90 minutes, but 2 goals in second half stoppage have put it even. We may not be done yet. This one headed a little bit toward the Toros net. Goes out for a goal kick. This might be the last opportunity for either team right here. So it looks like United maybe with the last chance. This is Moreno. Sending this one forward. Back to Moreno. We've played 5 minutes complete. Referee has put the whistle in his mouth and blows the whistle. That's the end of regulation. We are tied 2-2. Both teams will get a point here tonight. It goes down officially as a draw, but I'm sure from the Toros, from their mindset, it has to feel a little bit like a loss for United, probably more like a win. But who's our man of the match here tonight, Brian?
Going to give it to Sergio Rivas, the final goal scorer for New Mexico United. He played all 90-plus minutes of this one and still found the energy to dig deep in that big moment and to finish, giving his team the draw and a huge point. Rivas quite literally grabbed points from the teeth of a defeat.
All right, we'll take a break. Be back with the highlights for you in a moment. And the final look at the stats. A terrific finish here at HEB Park. And you're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
At HEB, we're inspired by Mexico. The colors, the flavors, and aromas. And we want to share them with you. So we created the HEB Mi Tienda family of products with authentic Mexican flavors. From savory marinated meats, frijoles and queso, to tamales, soft drinks, and more. HEB Mi Tienda brings you the traditional flavors you love. One more reason here, everything's better.
When it comes to our familia, we all have our own flavor and expression. At Tequila de Corralejo, we believe sharing our individuality is what makes gathering together so fun. Here's to those who stand tall and share their passion.
Espinos Tires on FAR 83 has been serving the Valley for over 30 years. We offer a wide assortment of tires, wheels, and auto parts. Let us build your dream vehicle with only $49 down. No credit required.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
And welcome back to HEB Park. It was a flurry of a finish here. A lot of heart-stopping action here at the end. And the end result is both teams will share points tonight. Brian, you want to take us through the highlights?
And plenty of first half advantage for Rio Grande Valley. Early on here, Cabezas to Francois. That put the Toros up 1 early. Francois continued to be an active part of the action here. Soft touch looking for Cabezas, back to Francois. That was that opening goal and an embrace between the two teammates. That broke what had been a lengthy scoring drought for Rio Grande Valley in USL play. And Benitez there saves an early goal, doing a nice job of helping his teammate out. Tyler Davila took a pretty long strike, just could not put it down. It was 1-0 at half. Rio Grande Valley came out firing again here in the second half. Good look there, just couldn't finish. Wilmer Cabrera got the second goal of this one. That put the Toros up 2-0 about midway through the second half, and it looked like Rio Grande Valley was flying high, ready to parade themselves to their first home victory of the year. Ricky Ruiz getting involved in the action there, forces a punch out by Tambakis, but that would not be the ultimate outcome. As you see, Schwartz comes in, cleans up the rebound to put it in here. That was in stoppage time to pull New Mexico to within 1, and then just another phenomenal performance again in stoppage time by New Mexico United, as you said, Sergio Rivas finishing off from the breakaway header there to pull this one even at 2. That takes us to our final 2 goals by New Mexico United in stoppage time, brings us to a 2-2 draw.
And I believe it was Bryden who got that nice header there as the ball was about to go out and was able to drift the ball back in the area of Rivas, and Rivas able to get that nice redirect onto the net and into the net for the 2-2 draw. So terrific, exciting game as the Valley led 1-0 at halftime. It ends up at 2-2. Hope you enjoyed it. For Brian Smith, I'm Mark May, and the rest of our USL Championship broadcast crew saying so long from HEB Park in Edinburgh. Our final score, 2-2.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.